Alrighty, so are we live is the question. I did go live just a second ago, but a little bit of an issue, so I just restarted it. Essentially, this is going to be a little bit of a test because I just want to see if the stream is working, if we get anyone in the chat. So I'm just going to throw out a couple of links. Bear with me a second, guys. Okay, so this should be up on Twitch and it should be up on YouTube. So if anyone happens to be seeing it, just give me a shout in the comment section of each of those platforms so I know that you are there. I'm going to hang around a little bit and just wait for a couple of people to join the stream so I can test it out, and then we'll give you a little bit more of a chatter into why I'm going live and what I'm going to be hopefully doing moving forward in the world of live streaming. Okay. Okie dokie. So yep, I should be connected on 202 platforms. Says I got one watching, but I just want to confirm that that is actually a thing. Let me see. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a decent Friday evening. It's currently it's 10 to 7, so sure most of you are out and about enjoying the freedoms once again. I'm currently in just mucking around with stuff, trying to get everything set up and see if it will work in the future. So yeah, I've just kind of set up a Discord server. Oh, we got someone in the chat there. Hello, Bernice. How are you doing? Hopefully, the chat should be popping up on the screen, which is hopefully a good thing, so people can see what's going on. I just want to kind of, are the levels okay? Can you hear me all right, or is it all a little bit quiet or a little bit loud? Hopefully we're all good. So yeah, I'm going to crack on now. I just wanted to wait till someone was basically in the stream, just so I'm not sort of talking to myself on a Friday night. Yeah, it's a slightly odd thing. It is slightly different. It feels different. It feels a bit more chatty than my normal videos, which are kind of just me staring at a camera and you know, spouting off about the music industry or talking about plugins or one of those such things. So yeah, I thought going live might bring a little bit more community to the platform, and I have just launched a Discord server, so I'll show you that screen now. So I'm hoping to kind of bring Discord a lot more into the fold. Not many people in there so far because I've only just sort of started getting it going. I will post the link in here now to see if anyone wants to join. So yeah, I'm hoping this will kind of partner up with the YouTube channel and with the Patreon channel. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. I did do a YouTube video on it yesterday, kind of describing some of the categories and my kind of ethos behind wanting to do it. Just think it'd be a good place for us to go to talk music creation, some off-topic stuff, books or films, games, art, memes, all those sorts of stuff. Recommend some music, talk a little bit about the music business, which is what this video really is going to be. It's going to be talking a little bit about music business. Now, let's jump into it. For anyone who's kind of joining the stream later or is kind of going to be checking the video out post-stream, yeah, just I'll put a marker to skip to the point where I start actually talking about the kind of royalty side of the world, so to speak, which is what this video is going to be addressing. So I put a video out some months ago. Wow, 7 months ago. So this was sort of during the lockdown, so to speak, and I was discussing why you know, bands, music, and musicians and artists, songwriters are kind of driving Ubers, which was a BBC report that went out, and there was kind of calls for the UK government to look into this. And Nile Rodgers, he's on one of these articles. Here he is. Nile Rodgers was kind of very much behind it, along with people like Fiona Bevan, who's a prominent. Sorry, just jumping through all these screens, who's a she's a prominent songwriter in the UK, and she was saying that basically she's driving Ubers and you're getting paid zero money. So what's actually happened as a result of that is that there was an inquiry into it. Apple kind of have continued. I mean, this is on Music Week from the 16th of April. They continue to kind of say that they pay double what Spotify pays. They haven't introduced their whole get less royalties for promotion, which is something that Spotify had tried to bring in. So Spotify tried to basically say that you can take a reduced royalty rate and we'll promote your song, and bearing in mind that you're getting paid next to nothing. I mean, it's if Apple are paying a cent, Spotify is half of that at best. So there's basically, there was an inquiry into it. I mean, so the UK government here have called for a reset of streaming to ensure fair pay. Now, I'm a bit adverse to this word reset because I keep hearing it lately, and it's not always for the best. But in this context, I think they've done a very kind of good thing. So they've said that the returns are pitiful from streaming, and it needs to be essentially improved. And they're kind of looking for a 50-50 split, which means more money will come back to the artist and away from the label, so to speak, who are taking kind of the lion's share. So there's a lot of information to dig into here, like a hell of a lot of information, some of which is going to be outside the scope of this live stream. But I may well do another kind of in-depth video that kind of goes through the raw data, if that's something that you guys want. I've already done quite a bit which talks about the pay rate from Spotify. So right now we're looking at a 0.00437 cents per stream payout. So to put it into context there, as it says on the screen here, you'd need 229,000 streams to get $1,000. So there's not a lot of money when you think about it at all. No wonder people are basically seriously struggling in terms of their getting any money from the music that they put out there. So there's various websites kind of in here which talk you through this, and I have done videos in the past which I'll link to. But the thing that they kind of that they really have done is they've started trying to look at it. So they've called for a complete reset of the music streaming to ensure fair pay. I tried to grab just a couple of articles here. So here we've got one from the BBC. Here we've got one from the Guardian. And we've got one from Happy. Now, I liked this article. It made me laugh because you got just the way they put this fella here playing the guitar, sort of busking. It's almost like, this guy right here can essentially make more money busking for an hour than you could with like a month's worth of streaming on a streaming platform or whatever. So it seems that amused me quite a bit in that sense. I thought it was a well-placed photo. So what they've done really, and they've published this. This is essentially the report, which is in the public domain. You can get hold of this yourself and you can read through it, and it is incredibly extensive. They've broken it down into really kind of in-depth, kind of high-level and low-level categories, and they've acknowledged that there is a problem here, and they've tried to come up with some sort of way of dealing with this. So if we jump in just to sort of the economics of music streaming. Even at the first point here, they've acknowledged that because of the sickness in the world, this has kind of highlighted this problem from the get-go. And I mean, I've been talking about this for years, that artists haven't been paid enough money for a long, long time in this sphere, and it's not been looked at. And I've highlighted that in previous videos. Really, it took something like this where people lost the stage. And again, they've looked at that, the loss of live music income, and what that's meant for kind of artists moving forward to try and make any sort of money or try and make any sort of ends meet. So straight away, even if you didn't know anything about the way that music royalties are kind of structured, or you weren't aware of how things are kind of put together in the new world of music, this actual report that they've put out kind of gives you almost like a really good idea into it. Like if you were just about to go to university, this would be a really good way and a really good thing for you to read, about how things have been, how things perhaps could be, and kind of it gives you a really decent breakdown into the way that the music industry is now structured in 2020. So just some of the stuff that I picked out. I mean, as I say, this is extensive. There are so many pages to this, and for me to go through every single page, I'm probably going to bore the pants off of you. But I can, if wanted, I can go through and make a bit more of a detailed video on this. Things like this, I think, are really interesting for people. A lot of people don't understand this, that, you know, from your stream, you're losing between 30 and 34% to the streaming service. So that's your Spotify, your Apple, your Google, etc., etc. You're losing around 15% to your publishing. You know, record label, 55% kind of goes to them, and then really the breakdown at the end, so the people who've actually kind of blood, sweat and tears to go into actually, you know, making the music and composing it, recording it, etc. You're looking at the composer and the songwriter through their publishing and through their public performance. 3.75% from their public performance and 6.75% from their publishing, with the recording artist getting 16.5%. Now, if you go back to that article that I pulled up earlier, where were we here? I think it was this one, where it talked about I've lost it. Yeah, if we're saying that you'd need, you know, nearly 229,000 streams to earn $1,000, and then you're only going to get 16% of that as a recording artist, or, you know what, 10% essentially as a composer or a songwriter, you can suddenly see that this is going to be a problem if you've lost the stage. So a lot of the argument, and this is documented in here as well, a lot of the argument has been around how a stream is calculated. You know, is it a sale, or is it almost like a radio broadcast? And that's where I've mentioned before with things like with the free version of Spotify, for instance, where if you're not paying for it and it's a free subscription, so to speak, a free model, and you're not on the subscription, a lot of people will notice that it doesn't give you the option to choose a song from an album. It randomly selects the song, and the reason that they've done that is because it's taken the choice away from the person listening to the music. It then doesn't go down as a sale, so to speak. They haven't chosen to listen to it, and therefore the royalty rate of payout is less. Obviously, that goes away with the subscription model, but the subscription model still needs to be vastly higher than what it is, and it does look like in the UK anyway. This is all based on the UK. The government have actually done some good stuff for us here, and have stepped in and done what they kind of need to do, which is say this isn't acceptable and this isn't sustainable. I mean, if you look at this graph here, which I found particularly interesting as well. So this basically looks at, from the 80s through to 2019, the kind of spend and the kind of market cap, if you like, in terms of music. So I suppose and they've adjusted this for inflation. If they didn't do that, it would be through the roof. But if you think the average person, you know, per year in the 2000s was spending an average of £60 a year. I mean, I was spending vastly more than that. Per capita means per person, so it's per head, so to speak. You know, that's a massive amount of revenue that was kind of being pulled in around the 2000 mark. Skip forward to 2010 and you can see that we're like £23 all the way down to the lowest point here between 2013 and 2014 at 18 quid, and then we slowly started leveling back out to around 22. So £22 per year on music is shocking, and that goes to show that a lot of people are using the free platforms, or they are using YouTube. Now YouTube, I think it says at the bottom here in the inquiry, we talk about YouTube. You know, so if I put my music on YouTube, straight away they're going to put an advert on there, but I can't claim any money from that until I've had at least 1,000 subscribers to my channel and 4,000 hours of watch time. I can't get any money from that, but they can reap money from using their platform, and I don't think that's fair. I think if you're going to put an advert on somebody's content, you need to give them a cut of the ad revenue that you're getting. It just doesn't seem right to me. So we've said that, you know, their status as a kind of a user-generated content model, which is basically free from lawsuits, they surpass the value in the digital music market. So it needs to be looked at. It needs to be changed, basically. And if we're saying here that YouTube accounts for 51% of music streaming per year, but contributed a mere 7% of all the revenue, this is something just it makes me feel unwell, to be honest. It's just not right. So again, they've kind of, this is being reflected in this amount here, that people just aren't paying for music, you know, compared to where they were. And obviously probably real music lovers, I mean, I probably spent £60 a week at one point on CDs of one description around this time, you know. So I thought that was a really kind of you know, a great breakdown of this, and all the kind of everything they've put in here, where you can jump to all these resources, all the kind of like the bibliography, if you like, or the referencing for how they've got this information. You can just see it's massive. You know, there's no way I can go through all of this just in one video. And they really are seems to be trying to kind of delve into this and work out what's going on here. There was another chart that I found somewhere in here, which I wanted to discuss it in this video. Maybe if I go back to the contents of it, I might be able to find it. Sorry, jumping around so much on the screen here. I might be able to find something. So I think it was at the end here, where it was during the witnesses. Nope. I can't remember where I found it now. I can't remember where I found it. Basically, they just invited everyone. You know, like the amount of people that were there that had to be a part of this inquiry was quite incredible. So, yeah, I feel like there's been some stuff done. I mean, this is out from the 5th, so this was yesterday. You know, Rishi Sunak saying that they're backing insurance for live events, because that's been a massive problem as well, that bands can't get on the stage because they can't get insured. So the government have kind of stepped in and said, well, we'll back it. So insurance companies feel a little bit more reassured to allow venues to open, allow bands to get back to the stage. So, you know, I think that's, again, it's a reflection of something that they should be doing, you know, to support events and get people out on the stage, get people earning money, and get human beings out there living in the real world, and sort of bring back the human experience, so to speak, and not have us sort of sitting in our front rooms watching it all on the television. So that was a good thing to read yesterday, that there's a little bit more you know, government backing in terms of insurance. You know, that, you know, they'll put up some cash, and they're telling insurers, look, go for it. But I'm gonna link this kind of inquiry at the end of this video. You know, and I want to do a little bit more research into it myself, because I do want to revisit it and do a more breakdown video. But really tonight was just about, can I get anyone in the stream? So thank you, Bernice, for joining. I really, really do appreciate it, and thank you for letting me know that the levels are good and okay. And yeah, it seems they acted, as I say, that this I can't really sort of criticize this too much. The amount of it's definitely a start. It's definitely a start. You know, if we can get to a 50-50 split between label and content writer, especially in this new normal, so to speak, if this is the way that the world's going to go, and this is the world that we're going to be living in, then something does need to happen with that model, because it's just not going to work otherwise. If we really have lost the stage, or the stage has been you know, diminished, so to speak, in that not as many people are going to go, then you can't just have places like YouTube accounting for 52% of streams, yet only paying 7% at the pot. So hopefully, I don't know whether this is just going to be the UK, or if this will kind of start this in the UK and then it will naturally spread out around the rest of the world, and kind of make some difference. It kind of, there has been parts of in history before which has suggested that. But yeah, I'll link this below, guys, so you can read the report itself from Parliament. Please do join the Discord. And get in touch with me there and start having a conversation. You know, unless you guys join, I cannot build it, and I can't grow it, and I can't see what is going to be. So yeah, join this Discord server. Again, the link is in the description, and I'll try and sort out some sort of schedule of when I'm going to go live and work out what the content's going to be. Some ideas that I've got is I built Trevor Morris's composer template in Pro Tools, which is kind of wacky. So I watched his kind of the breakdown of his Cubase template, and then kind of made a hybrid of it in Pro Tools, which is working perfectly. So I want to go through that. I've got this bit of kit, which is a kind of digital reverb from TC Electronics, which I want to go through and do a run through of that. I've also got an iPad Pro, which is now controlling Pro Tools, which I want to do a run through on that. And I've got the TC Electronics Clarity M, which is hiding just here, which goes through and talks about leveling and things like that for your productions if you're going out to TV. So there's tons of content that I want to kind of do. So I really want to bring this channel back because I'm spending a lot of time in this room, but I want to bring you guys into it. You know, I'm kind of, I want to change the model a bit and be live and be able to talk to you guys and get your comments and your subscript, you know, your ideas through. So join the Discord server, guys, and be well, and I'll see you in the next stream or the next video. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.